I'm showing you 8 gifts that pass the real test, daily use. And number 5, it's the one upgrade that changes how a man sees himself every morning. Gift-giving problem. It's November. You're staring at the same problem every year. What do you get for a man who's already bought himself everything he needs? We've got the watch, the wallet, more polos than we'll wear. Half of last year's gifts are still in boxes, untouched, gathering dust. We've all got a drawer graveyard. Let's avoid adding to it. Brutal truth about why most gifts fail. They're either too generic, too trendy, or they solve problems we don't have. Another tie, another gadget, another thing that seemed like a good idea, but ends up in a drawer. But here's what most people miss. The gifts that actually get used aren't things we'd buy ourselves. They're upgrades to things we already use every single day, but haven't thought to improve. The difference between what we have and what we could have is massive, but we'll never make that leap on our own. The guiding principle: don't introduce new habits, elevate existing ones. Make what we already do noticeably, undeniably better. If it blinks, beeps, or solves a problem we don't have, it ends up in a drawer. Men our age don't need more things. We need refined things. Now, here are gifts men actually use, because the right upgrade gets worn, noticed, and appreciated every single day. Gift 1. The cashmere that changes everything. For the man whose taste is quiet, but unmistakable. Most of us have sweaters, too many, honestly. What we don't have is exceptional cashmere in a tone that actually flatters us, and the difference is real. I'm talking about substantial 2-ply or 4-ply cashmere. Weight you feel, fabric with intention, not thin and apologetic. And here's something men over 40 understand once they see it. Our complexion softens with age. Harsh colors start to age us. Warm, rich tones, burgundy, camel, forest, bring life back instead of draining it. And once you see how the right tones lift your face, you can't unsee it. Then there's the feel. Real cashmere has weight, a subtle luster, softness without fuzz. It wears in, not out, getting better every season. A client told me, months after receiving a camel cashmere crew neck, "I wear it twice a week. I didn't realize how much better I could look in something this simple." Think Loro Piana or Brunello Cucinelli if you're going all in. For smart value, Nadam or Everlane deliver strong quality without compromise. The key is tone and depth. Burgundy instead of bright red, forest instead of Kelly green. This becomes the piece we reach for without thinking, errands, dinners under a blazer, because it quietly improves. Gift 2. The leather system nobody thinks about. Man who upgrades slowly but permanently. Here's something most people miss. A matching set of leather goods in one rich tone creates instant sophistication in a way mismatched accessories never will. I'm talking about a coordinated system. Belt, card holder, key fob, all in cognac or chocolate brown. Full grain leather that feels substantial in the hand, smells rich, and shows natural grain that only gets better with age. Most of us are walking around with a brown belt from one brand, a black wallet from another, keys on some random carabiner from a conference we barely remember. Nothing flows, nothing connects. Each piece might be fine individually, but together it reads disjointed. But when our belt matches our card holder, our key fob, our shoes, that's the kind of attention to detail that separates men who understand refinement from men who are just getting dressed. Tanner Goods or Saddleback for rugged longevity, Bellroy for a cleaner, modern profile. Choose one leather tone and commit. If he wears lighter brown shoes, go cognac. If he leans darker, choose chocolate brown. He'll use these pieces every day. Getting dressed, heading out the door, paying for something. Hundreds of small moments where he feels the upgrade and remembers who gave it to him. Gift 3. The grooming ritual. We didn't know we needed for the man who values ritual over novelty. There's a quiet problem most men don't talk about. Our grooming routine hasn't evolved in years, and it shows. Not dramatically at once, but slowly, daily. It dulls us. Upgrading the tools we use every morning turns grooming from a task into a ritual. A quality electric razor that cuts cleanly and comfortably. A real shaving brush with density and spring. A refined fragrance, warm woods like sandalwood, cedar, vetiver. Mature, subtle, unmistakably masculine. A scent that stays close, not one that announces itself. Quality tools matter. A well-made razor feels intentional in the hand. A proper brush has weight and balance. These details transform a routine into a moment, almost meditative. I gave my father a proper razor after decades of the drugstore kind. A week later, he said, "I didn't realize shaving could feel like this." I actually look forward to it now. When upgrading, look to Braun or Philips Norelco for razors, Taylor of Old Bond Street for shaving tools, and timeless wood-based fragrances like Tom Ford Oud Wood or Le Labo Santal 33. This gift gets used every single morning, and it changes the tone of the day before he walks out the door. Gift 4. The winter accessories that actually matter. For the man who'd rather own one great thing than 10 mediocre ones. Cold weather accessories are something we use constantly throughout winter, yet almost none of us upgrade them on our own. Most men are still wearing the same scarf from a decade ago and gloves that work, but don't say anything. A cat scarf from Johnston's of Elgin or Begg & Company, cloud soft, with real weight and a subtle sheen. Cashmere-lined leather gloves from Dents or Mark & Graham, where the leather has grain, structure, and warmth, and color matters here. If he wears a navy or charcoal coat, a camel or burgundy scarf adds warmth and depth. If he wears a camel coat, navy or charcoal creates refined contrast. You can feel quality immediately. True cashmere has a silky hand, a bit of weight, and quiet luster. Cheap cashmere feels thin, itchy, and flat. The difference is obvious the moment you touch it. These pieces get used every day through winter. Every time he leaves the house from November through March, he reaches for them. Dozens of wears each month, hundreds each season. That's value. Gift 5, the color consultation that changes everything. For the man who's ready to see himself differently. This isn't just a wardrobe upgrade, it changes how a man sees himself. And it's something we'd never buy on our own. A professional color analysis specifically for men over 40. Not a fashion appointment. Clarity. Understanding which tones actually flatter our complexion and building a wardrobe around that knowledge. Most of us are still wearing the same colors we wore at 30. Navy, gray, white, black. High contrast neutrals that looked sharp then. But now, our complexion has softened, and those colors work against us instead of for us. A proper consultation identifies undertones and gives a clear palette. For many of us, it means shifting from harsh neutrals to rich, warm tones with depth. The change is immediate. People notice something, even if they can't explain what changed. I watched a client go through this, decades in gray and navy. After his consultation, he moved to burgundy, camel, warm, charcoal. His wife said, "He looks like himself again." I didn't realize how much those old colors were aging him. This gift pays dividends forever. Once a man knows his palette, shopping gets easier. We stop wasting money. We build a wardrobe where everything works together and everything flatters. Choose someone who specializes in men over 40. Many offer virtual sessions, so he books when the time feels right, and he uses it every single day afterward. Every time he gets dressed, every time he makes a clothing decision. Gift 6. The bespoke experience we never forget. For the man who's never experienced what perfect fit actually means. A session with a quality tailor to create a custom sport coat or trousers isn't really about the garment. It's about understanding fit, and once you feel it, everything changes. Being measured properly. Choosing from dozens of fabric swatches, feeling the weight and drape of different wools, seeing how subtle adjustments, a quarter inch here, half an inch there, transform the entire silhouette. Most men have never experienced this. We've spent years buying off the rack and convincing ourselves good enough was good enough. The sensory part matters. Running a hand across flannel versus tropical wool, watching how fabric falls from the shoulder. It's tactile education. It trains the eye. Proper cloth, Indochino, or a reputable local tailor are all good starting points. What matters is a fitter who guides, not just measures. After 40, fit matters more than brand. A $400 jacket that fits perfectly will always look better than a $4,000 designer jacket that doesn't. This gift teaches a man to see that difference. And once he does, he never goes back. The garment gets worn for years, but the real value is the shift. He starts demanding better, and suddenly every piece in his wardrobe has a higher standard to meet. Gift 7. The textured essentials that add dimension for the man who understands that details matter. Textured essentials elevate the everyday. An Oxford cloth shirt in cream or soft blue, corduroy trousers in chocolate brown or olive, and a fine gauge knit polo in merino or cotton silk. The kind that drapes cleanly, holds its collar, and feels intentional, not the stiff piqué polos we all retired for a reason. These aren't just clothes. They quietly sharpen how we look without announcing themselves. Here's the key: texture equals maturity. Smooth, flat fabrics can look one-dimensional, but textured fabrics, Oxford cloth, corduroy, soft knits, catch light in a way that adds depth and quiet sophistication. You can feel the difference. Oxford has a visible basket weave. Corduroy has wails that create shadow and structure. These fabrics work with light rather than reflecting it flatly. It's subtle. And that's exactly why it works. Look for Oxford shirts from Brooks Brothers or Kamakura, corduroy trousers from Bonobos or J. Crew, knit polos from Sunspell or John Smedley. Choose warm tones: cream over stark white, chocolate brown over khaki, burgundy over bright red. These pieces become our go-to smart casual staples. We reach for them weekly because they're more interesting than basic knits and plain chinos, while being just as versatile. Gift 8, the daily ritual that becomes sacred for the man who values the beginning and end of his day. Some gifts don't change what we do, they change how we do it. Tools that turn ordinary moments into ritual. A quality French press or pour-over setup with a proper hand grinder, a premium cocktail kit with weighted bar tools, a crystal whiskey decanter that catches light and feels like tradition. The weight of quality matters more than most of us realize. A substantial French press feels intentional. Weighted bar tools have balance and presence. A crystal decanter refracts light in a way glass never can. These sensory details quietly elevate a habit from routine to ritual. Winter only amplifies this. Cold mornings feel different when he starts the day with a refined coffee setup. Evenings feel earned when he pours a nightcap with tools that reward the moment. Thinkfellow or Chemex for coffee equipment, Baratza or Hario for grinders, Cocktail Kingdom or Visky for bar tools, Waterford or Riedel for crystal. The key is matching what he already enjoys. This enhances existing habits rather than inventing new ones. He'll use these daily, or weekly at minimum, not once for novelty, but again and again because they make something he already does feel better, calmer, more intentional. That's a gift that stays with him. If you found this helpful, subscribe.